The conference room fell silent as Olivia Hart stood at the end of the polished oak table. She had spent 7 years building Blackstone Global into one of the most profitable consulting firms in New York. Every impossible project, every failing client account, every overnight deadline, she had saved them all. Today was supposed to be different. Today was promotion day. Her manager, Richard Collins, adjusted his expensive watch before forcing a corporate smile. "I'm sorry, Olivia," he said. "After careful consideration, we've decided you aren't qualified for the director position." The words echoed in the room. Several coworkers lowered their eyes. A few looked genuinely shocked. Olivia simply smiled. Not a fake smile. Not an angry smile. A calm, dangerously calm smile. "Understood," she replied. Richard seemed relieved. "I hope there are no hard feelings." "None at all." She picked up her notebook, thanked everyone for their time, walked out of the meeting, entered the elevator, got into her car, and drove home. No dramatic resignation. No shouting. No crying. She ignored every message from coworkers asking what happened. Instead, she spent the evening quietly organizing files on her laptop. Her husband Daniel noticed something unusual. "You aren't upset?" Olivia looked out the window. "I've learned something." "What?" "Sometimes people don't deserve to know your next move." The next morning she didn't go to work. Instead, she drove to a law office. Not because she planned to sue. Because she was signing papers. For years, Olivia had secretly been developing software that automated business strategy analysis. She never used company resources. Everything had been built legally on her own time. A month earlier, she had received an acquisition offer from an international technology company. She hadn't accepted. Until now. That morning, she signed the contract. $48 million. The deal closed before lunch. At Blackstone Global, nobody noticed. Richard celebrated his promotion decision. "We finally removed the weak link," he joked during lunch. His assistant laughed. Unfortunately for him, Olivia had never been the weak link. She had been the person quietly solving everyone's disasters. Every client trusted her. Every emergency landed on her desk. Every hidden process existed because she had built it. No one realized how much depended on one woman. By Wednesday morning, chaos began. A billion-dollar client refused to continue without Olivia. Another project suddenly collapsed because nobody understood her systems. 3 international presentations failed. Deadlines were missed. Investors demanded explanations. Richard spent the day screaming at employees. "Find Olivia." His assistant called. No answer. HR emailed. Nothing. The CEO called. Voicemail. Meanwhile, Olivia and Daniel were having breakfast beside a quiet lake outside the city. Her phone remained on silent. She watched the sunrise. For the first time in years, she wasn't stressed. At noon, news broke across business websites. A startup called Insight Crown Technologies had been acquired for $48 million. Founder, Olivia Hart. Blackstone employees stared at their screens in disbelief. Richard nearly dropped his coffee. "No." His assistant whispered. "Sir, isn't that?" Richard interrupted. "Call her." He called. No answer. Again. No answer. Again. 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 By Thursday afternoon, his phone log showed 82 missed outgoing calls. Messages filled with panic. "Olivia, we need to talk. Please call me back. We can discuss the promotion. There may have been a misunderstanding. The CEO wants to meet." Still. Silence. The board of directors launched an internal review. They discovered something shocking. Months earlier, Olivia had submitted a detailed proposal to modernize the company's entire business system. Richard had rejected it. Then, he quietly presented her ideas as his own. The documents still contained hidden revision histories. Timestamps. Original drafts. Everything pointed to Olivia. Richard's career collapsed overnight. Not because Olivia exposed him. Because the truth had been sitting in the company's own records the entire time. A week later, Blackstone's CEO requested a private meeting. This time, Olivia agreed. She walked into the same conference room where she'd been told she wasn't qualified. Only now, every executive stood as she entered. The CEO spoke carefully. "We made a terrible mistake." Olivia remained silent. "We'd like you to return. We're prepared to double your previous salary." Executive benefits. Company shares. You can name your own department. The room waited. Richard wasn't there. He had already been dismissed. The CEO finally asked, "What would it take for you to come back?" Olivia smiled. The same calm smile she had worn a week earlier. Then she slid a folder across the table. Inside wasn't a contract. It was a business proposal. "Our new company is expanding internationally. We're looking for consulting partners." The executives exchanged confused looks. Olivia continued, "You don't need to hire me. You need to earn the opportunity to work with us." The balance of power had completely changed. Months later, Blackstone became one of Insight Crown's biggest clients. Every meeting began the same way. Executives arrived early. They listened carefully, and no one ever questioned Olivia's qualifications again. As for Richard, he struggled to find another executive position. His reputation followed him everywhere. Not because Olivia tried to destroy him. She never mentioned his name publicly. His own arrogance had done that. People often asked Olivia if refusing the promotion had been the worst day of her life. She always gave the same answer. "No. The worst day was believing I needed someone else's approval to know my worth. And the best day?" She smiled. "The day I stopped trying to prove them wrong and started proving myself right." Because the sweetest revenge isn't watching someone beg for your return. It's building a life so successful that walking away becomes your greatest victory.